So guys, after placing your cap on your dummy head, make sure from where the cap starts down to the bottom is 9 inches. So guys, you can see my dummy cap is well pinned to my canvas head. So next I'm going to divide the cap into 2 equal parts. The reason being is that so that when placing your closure, you'll be able to place your parting at the center of the cap. So guys, I'm going to place my closure on the middle of the line so that I can achieve a straight closure, a straight parting, so that the closure will not be bent on the cap. Once you place the closure correctly on the cap, now you're going to use your T-pin to pin the closure against the cap. You're going to do this on all sides. For beginners, you might find this process a bit challenging, but just keep doing it. It's normal. Just keep doing it until you get it right. So once you are done placing your T-pin at the 2 sides of the front, you are going to go to the back of the closure and you are going to place your T-pin there as well, as you can see in the video. After placing your T-pins on the closure, you are going to take a look to make sure your closure is well placed, your parting is straight. If your parting is not straight at this point, you are going to start adjusting all over again. So after this, once you make sure your parting is straight, you are going to get some office pins and you are going to pin the closure against the cap. The reason we are doing this is to avoid shifting of the cap, shifting of the closure by the time you start sewing. We don't want the closure to get displaced. So by pinning your closure to the cap, you are going to be precise when you are sewing your closure to your cap. Now the way you are going to use your office pin to pin your wig is going to be the same way you pin your dress when you have a loose button. You are going to put it in and out. Now this process can be quite challenging, but you just have to keep doing it until you get it right. And you are going to do it for each side, just as seen in the video. You are going to do it for each side of the closure to avoid shifting while you are wigging. When you are doing this, you are going to make sure all areas of the closure are flat. If there's any bumpy part, you try to lay it flat before pinning, and after pinning you are also going to stretch it. You are going to stretch it gently to make sure everything is flat, otherwise you are going to end up with a bumpy closure. Now when I said straight, I don't mean using your electric straightener. I meant using your hand to just straighten each part, to just adjust it to make sure it is flat and good to go. So after making sure your closure is intact, you are going to thread your needle. You are going to double your threading. Don't use single threading, otherwise your wig is not going to be well secured. Your thread might cut while you are sewing. So you are going to pass the needle. After that, you will knot your thread very well, about 2 to 3 times. Then you are going to pass your needle through the closure and through the cap. Then you are going to take your knot where you tied your knot. You are going to divide that part into 2 and you are going to pass the needle through it. The reason why you have to do that is to secure your sewing, to make sure the closure is well sewn. So next, once you do that, you are going to start sewing. You are just going to pass your needle through your closure, through your cap, and you are going to pass it through the middle of the thread, just like that. You are just going to follow the sequence just as seen in the video. Sorry I did not capture the first part because the person filming did not record it. you get to this end, you want to make sure to secure this side as well. So you are going to make a sew, and then you are going to roll your thread about 2-3 times around your needle, and you are going to pull it. While doing this, you have to be careful. Just do it the way you see me doing it on the video. Sometimes if your thread is too long, it might tangle, and you are going to have to start using your needle to gently lose it, and use your hand to direct it as well, so that it will not tie up roughly. So after doing that, making sure it is well tied, you are going to pass your needle through your cap, this time through your cap and the closure, and you are going to tie it twice. By doing it this way, you are making sure your closure is well secured. See that the closure is neatly sewn. Now moving on to the bundles, you want to make sure you draw a straight line to part your cap into two. Then after this, you are going to take your tape and you are going to measure 1 inches apart, although this depends on the quantity of your bundles. So we're doing this because we want to get a precise measurement when we start sewing. We want to get a straight line when we start sewing. We don't want to start sewing and at the end of the day it will be looking bent and tattered and not looking neat. So by doing this, by drawing your lines, you are going to make sure to follow the lines. And another advantage of drawing the lines is because we don't want the back or the front to be fuller than one another. We want to make sure everything is even. So by doing this, you're going to get an accurate sewing. Now you want to make sure you don't have more lines than the quantity of hair you have, so you are going to fit the hair along each line. If you find that you have more lines than the bundles, you are going to erase, just as seen here, and you are going to make sure your lines align with your bundles. Now we are going to start sewing the weft. This is the same way we sewed the closure. So if you did not get the way I started the closure, you can take note from here. So you are going to pass your needle through the cap. Make sure to follow the lines. After that, you are going to pass the needle through your weft. You are going to pass the needle through your weft. Make sure, and you are going to divide the knots, just as you can see here. You are going to divide it into two and pass the needle through it. You only do this the first time, at the first sewing, in order to secure the weft. So next, you are going to pass your needle under the weft. You are not going to pass it through the weft again. You are only going to do that at the beginning and when you get to the edge. Now for more clarification, once you pass your needle through the bottom of your weft, that is after securing your weft, the first sewing, you have to pass your needle through your weft. That part is kind of hard. It takes a little bit of effort. You are going to pass it through the weft. Then from the second sewing, you are going to pass it under the weft, and you can see it like the way I'm doing it. Pass it under until you get to the other edge. once you get to this edge, if you don't want to cut your weft, you are going to do it kind of diagonally to the other line. You want to kind of link it to the second line, and you are going to pass it. Once you get to the edge like this, you are going to pass it through the weft. You can see it and passing it through the weft so that it will be secured. So once you pass it through the weft, you are going to make sure it is tight and you can turn over. So once you turn over again, you are going to do the same. You are going to take it to the next line. You can see it was linked to the second line. You are going to do the same. You are going to pass it through the weft again. So by doing this, it will be well secured, and that part will be flat. It will not be bumpy. After this, you can continue sewing from under the weft until you get to the other edge. But if you are going to be cutting your weft, all you just have to do is to tie your thread. You can do it the same way I did it at the other side of the closure. So that way your weft is going to be secure and it will not lose easily. If so far you found this video helpful, you can support us by subscribing and liking, as well as sharing a comment on the comment section. This is a very interesting part where so many people find challenging. Once your thread is about to finish, all you just have to do is to sew it through the weft, and you wind it about twice or thrice around your needle, and you drag it up to make sure it is secured. And you are going to get a new thread. Make sure you knot it, and you are going to sew it through the weft as well. So you are going to pass it through, and you are going to take that thread, the new thread. Once you pass it through the weft, you are going to take it with the old thread, and you are going to tie it. Just as you can see, you are going to tie them together. Make sure you tie them at least twice. After doing this, you are going to see that your thread has been secured and you now have a new thread. So after tying, you cut off the old thread and you continue sewing with your newly attached thread. the sewing is very neat and strong. Now you're just going to do this until you are done sewing. When you get to the last weft, you are going to make sure your thread is well secured, and tada, this is the final result. Now all you just have to do is cut off the part of the cap where the closure was sewn. Make sure you do this carefully, and that's all. You have your cap ready. Then if you like, you can attach your band to the side of the cap and you are good to go. Now if you find this video helpful, support us by subscribing to our channel for more videos. It's not easy creating these videos. Also, don't forget to drop a like and comment for us. Thank you. Bye.